Um, so yes, welcome everyone. Pascolo Proving Grounds. It's our third call of the year 2024. We're excited about how things are going. Here with our marketing and tech gurus, Tammy Price, Jenny Groth. I hope I said your last name correct. David, please pronounce your last name. I don't want to butcher your last name.
It has been for so many years, but it's Marciniak.
Marciniak, David Marciniak, and Danielle Brown Davis. We're excited to have you guys on the call with us. We're going to get right into it. I just want to say a quick prayer, but Joshua wanted to say hello to everyone. He's out of town, and anyway, go ahead, Joshua. Say what you want to say, and then we'll
Hey,
say.
yeah, thank you, Kristen. Really appreciate you running this here today, and just so excited, guys, for the group, for these panelists today. We really need this expertise, this wisdom, and I appreciate you guys sharing your gifts and your talents with the group. All these business owners and wealth map builders, we really need to come together, and I can't believe my little tiny seed of a dream a long time ago is growing into a nice little tree, as we were talking about trees with fruit that's just benefiting everybody. So God bless you guys. I love this. Everyone that's hearing it on the recording, really dive in and support these people. We have gleaned wisdom directly already. Myself, Kristen, we've really already benefited from these people's gifts, talents, and wisdom, and so that's why we want you to know about them. And so, guys, take it away and just let us know what you do, how you can help, and how we can connect with you. God bless you all.
Thank you, Joshua. So let's go ahead and say a quick prayer. Lord, we thank you. We thank you for a time of fellowship with our brothers and sisters in Christ. Thank you, Lord, for the wisdom that we are about to learn from our experts in how to do marketing and selling for our business so that we can grow it for the kingdom. And we thank you, Lord, for your revelation and for understanding. And we thank you for every business that's represented here, every person, Lord God. And we ask that you allow them to be more clear on what they should do for their business or get a step closer to what they're trying to do for you and for the kingdom. And we thank you, Lord, in your son Jesus' name. Amen. And we just want to go ahead and get started because we have so much information. Miss Tammy is our first presenter. You saw her last month with the finances, and she is also great with organic marketing. So go ahead and take it away, Tammy.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with you all. Okay, ready? You may want to grab a pen and paper. I've been privileged to kind of hear bits and pieces of the other people's knowledge and everything. Just trust me, grab your pen and paper. I'll wait 2 seconds. Okay, awesome. Here we go. So I'm going to literally dive right in. I have been in business for going on 3.5 years with my own thing, and it's been fabulous. And in that process, I've made a lot of mistakes, and also I've learned a lot of things. So my heart and my desire is if I can help you prevent the process of having to make more mistakes to get more results, that's what I'm here for. So I'm going to do my little screen share here. And I've got slides. Here they come. Okay. If I can get this up, technology. Okay. So let me do this first. I'm going to share with you when we talk about like marketing, we talk about organic marketing. This has been my approach. I've not invested monies toward paid ads and things like that. I have taproot marketing, right? So like I've reached out to friends, I've jumped into different groups, I've built relationships in that way, I've added value. And so I'm going to take you behind the scenes for that. It's okay. I'm not doing a slideshow just yet, Jeff, but thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. So first of all, I'm going to ask you, what are your thoughts and beliefs when you hear the word marketing or sales? because your thoughts are going to actually lead into, and there's this like this hidden energy about when someone receives what you put out there. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I feel awkward, what will people think, what are they going to say, what are they going to do, you're going to bring that energy to it, knowingly or unknowingly. And so we get to really examine that so that you can communicate in a way that really serves other people and you don't end up tripping yourself up. So if you can put in the chat, I'd love to know, what are your thoughts and beliefs about when you hear the word marketing and sales? Do they make your stomach turn? Do you feel twisted up in knots? Does your mind flash to slimy, manipulative salespeople or those crazy late night ads you've seen on TV? We get to really audit these thoughts. I call it a thought it. Hold your thought captive and pay attention to what you're believing about it, because we will unknowingly turn people away from our content if we're approaching it with those vibes. Do you get excited about sales? Do you get excited about marketing? Does marketing feel like a big, warm hug and someone really there to serve you and solve the challenges, bring solutions to you? Because I used to think about it one way, and now I've switched teams, and I'm thinking about it like, oh my gosh, I get to show up and serve people. I get to love people where they're at. And so that has helped me have a wild breakthrough and just have so much fun. So that being said, in organic marketing, there are 4 kinds of posts that I like to share. Okay. And the first one is called a value post. Usually this is educational in nature. You're giving tips, you're sharing, maybe it's reels that you're sharing, maybe it's other people's content you're sharing, but it's right on point with what you are offering for solutions, right? I love to use my stories and I love to tag other people who are right in line or thinking in the same mindset and belief of what I have. And then I tag them. Why? Well, because my audience can see them and then they can see me tagging them and it's sharing the love. And it's just awesome. It's a really fun, organic way to grow your audience. The other way is nurture posts. So these are, I usually say like, these to me are like encouragement, letting people know that they're not alone. The encouraging memes and things like that. The next kind of post is a fun post, something that like, it's like a getting to know you post. It's like fun, friendly. Maybe it's a story. It lets people know who you are, because in the best success I've had in sales online is when people know you, then they like you, then they trust you. And relationship comes first, and the business naturally will follow if you have the solution and the products they need. So we don't have to make it weird. We don't have to make it awkward. We're simply there to provide and offer value. And if they need it, great. If they don't, awesome. There's no weird feeling about that. And so the final one is the actual sales post. This is, hey, this is what I'm offering. Those usually include a CTA, that's a call to action. That's an invitation, whether it is, hey, comment below if you want to connect, join my free group, click the link below to add to your cart. What are your thoughts on this? Comment below. Those are all call to action. So you can incorporate those in many different ways. You can even take those 4 kinds of posts and they may hit cross posting. So for example, if I put something out there that is encouraging and then at the bottom, I put something that is a value, well, that hits 2 of those. I'm doing a value post and something that is a nurture post. So you can absolutely mix them up. Psalm 127:1 says, if God's grace doesn't help the builders, they will labor in vain to build a house. And I'm looking at that house from a career standpoint of, well, this could be business, this could be our finances, this could be relationship, right? And so one of the things I love to do is I love to have a conversation with him. Hey, what do your people in social media land need to hear today? And I have done, my best posts have been ones that he has given me inspiration for. They haven't come from other people. They've come from him giving me that inspiration. So I'll ask him, hey, Abba Daddy, Father, give me some guidance. What do your people need to hear on the topic of da da da? And sometimes he takes me off-roading and tells me to post something completely different. However, I'm available for it. Why? Because I want to be able to serve at a very high level and organically reach out to people. And so we may be able to market or have a formula for building the business, but if we don't ask God to partner with us and trust that he will, it's not going to be long lasting, or it's going to be something where it's like we got burnout, we have overwhelm, confusion. I don't know if anyone else has ever felt this. You could pop in the chat if you have, or you feel like you're spinning your wheels and there's no end in sight. Why should I bother? I don't know about you, but I don't want to do my online connections that way. I want to do it in a way that is sincere, that is heartfelt, that truly honors who he is calling me to connect with. And so when we partner with him, we get to do that in every way because he really is interested in every single area of our lives. So I think about how God marketed, okay? And God's marketing was beautiful. He selected people. He selected people that were not qualified. Can anyone in here relate to being not qualified? Like, I'm going to raise my hand first, right? Like, totally not qualified, right? Thank you for the honesty. I love seeing the raised hands in the comments. So good. So Jesus went out to where God's ideal clients were. He didn't just kind of hang out in his corner. He actually went out and found the people. And so when we think about this, what can this look like? Well, Jesus went out to the sinners, the tax collectors, the sick, the overwhelmed, the needy. He even bumped with the Pharisees, right? Like, so he went out to the people. What does this look like online? Well, let's lean in and learn from his wisdom. We can use this by being in social media groups where our ideal clients hang out. So Facebook groups, Indeed, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Now there's another one called School, SKOOL, which is up and coming and fabulous. So we get to go and we can lead by caring and giving value everywhere. Just like Jesus did. He gave value everywhere he went. He talked openly about what he was doing, promoting God and the promises and the ways of God, right? So what does this look like for a business? Are you talking about your business in a way that it solves the problems and the needs for others? Are you offering solutions? Are you getting to know what the needs are of other people? You can give value in the spaces, the Facebook groups and the things like that. This is going to lead to building relationships. It's going to be able to lead to getting to know your tribe, especially if you're brand new in business. When I first started out, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a fish out of water. I'm just going to throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. And I'm going to do it on repeat until I figure it out, right? And so finally I started figuring out, oh, well, my ideal core client is a believer and they want to go deeper with God. They might have some mindset issues. They might struggle with finances. They might have a desire to grow their business. However, they have stinking things that's hold them back, or they just don't know what the next step is to take, right? So I would go into groups that are on Facebook. And how do I find those groups? So glad you asked. You can literally go into your search bar on Facebook and you can type in there. Here, I'm going to do a screen share so y'all can see this because this is so good. This is so good. Here we go. All right. So for example, can y'all see my screen? Let me know in the comments if you can see my screen. Awesome. Thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So this is my screen. Oop. Bye, Joelle. We don't need that message right now. So this is mine. And how you can find your groups is you just type in here, whatever the group name is you want to find. You think about your core client. What are the groups they're hanging out in? Well, what are the things that your service or your product solve? And I start there. So this is my group called Mind Over Money. And so I will go in this group. Again, it's my group, so it doesn't really count, but let's do this. Here's a group y'all might be familiar with. Okay, so Pascolo Proving Grounds. Whoop, whoop. Here we go. So when you go in here, you're seeing all kinds of posts. You're seeing people, maybe they're asking questions. Maybe there's things that you can add encouragement for. Maybe there's add value. What can you do to make this group a rockin' place, right? Whether it's this group or a weight loss group or your author group or, whatever the group is, right? What can you do to add value there? Okay, so that's a great way to start. So you look up your group. You ask God to download to you. How can you love on that group? Who needs love today? The encouragement thing. People don't get enough encouragement, right? So back to Jesus. Jesus spent time with the disciples. He knew their needs. He knew how they thought. He knew what they desired. And he also asked questions that took the relationship deeper. We can use this example as we're thinking about marketing ourselves and our businesses. Are you using wisdom to uncover people's needs for what you have? Are you asking questions to get to know your audience and your ideal client better? Have you defined your ideal client? Psalm 133 says, "How pleasant is it, brethren, to dwell together in unity." Find groups where you already have things in common. Yes, your clients actually hang out in the groups that you're hanging out in already. This doesn't have to be awkward. Like, I love dad jokes, so I'm in a lot of dad joke groups. Well, how the heck can I add value there? I can certainly add in the goofy jokes I come up with or the goofy jokes I find. I can interact and ha 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 on other people's jokes, all kinds of ways to add value no matter what kind of group it is. Everyone needs encouragement. So most often we're marketing and we're solving problems for the past version of ourselves. So keeping that in mind, just think about the problems you had 3 weeks ago, 3 months ago, 6 years ago. Who were you? Where did you hang out back then? Because a lot of us, like myself included, sometimes I still get tripped up on, I start marketing to the current version of me, and that's not who needs me. It's the me of maybe a couple weeks ago that needs me. It's the me of 3 months ago, 3 years ago, 6 years ago that needs me, right? And so that is how I like to lead and market. It also makes writing content when you're talking about the actual, the things that you're going to put out there, your stories and building the relationship, and then the invitation to join you in your business journey. A lot easier because you're leading with, how can I serve, instead of, I got to make a sale. Again, very, very different, the energy behind it, right? So you can increase your Facebook, your Instagram reach by leveraging those systems to your benefit. So for example, you teach Facebook and Instagram who they will actually be sharing your posts with based on people liking and engaging with your content. So you want to stay on point when it comes to posting on your grid. What is a grid, Tammy? This is crazy talk. Well, let me show you what a grid is. This is what a Facebook grid, or I'm sorry, your Instagram grid looks like. It's this screen. So you've got your main page, and then you've got your grid. This is called your grid. So from here, people can access your posts, your reels. Whoops, there we go. Your reels. They can access, things that you save that matter to you, and even things that you've been tagged in, right? And so this is your grid. When you're utilizing your grid, I like to think of it this way, super simple. I'm a simple girl. I don't know about you. I like to keep it simple. Oh, I got 2 minutes. Here we go. So you want to pinpoint 3 core pillars that your problem solves. Those pillars can have subcategories. So I like to use hashtags that support the topics I talk about. I also like to make sure that the hashtags make sense with what I'm talking about. Okay. So that being said, I am just going to show you this really quick. And then thank you, by the way, for being here. You guys are amazing. And so this is my, there we go. Okay. So these are my lovely presentation I came up with. So this is how you can reach me. I do 15-minute transformative discovery calls to help give you a jump start and a boost. It could look like looking at your social media, could look like questions on mindset and belief and things like that, because we want to make sure your thoughts are in line with where you are going. So my little QR code, and you can email me or hop on Facebook land or Instagram land and message me. And I specialize in giving people customized strategies and direction in the area of mindset and thoughts. I support with closing sales, organic growth on social media, how to navigate balance, some debt stuff I do too. And then I'm a certified life coach in both action-oriented and mindset coaching, because if your thoughts are not in line with what he's calling you to do, it's going to be a struggle. So let's pull the struggle out of that. I run a free group called Mind Over Money on Facebook. And again, that's how to reach me. So thank you so much. Back to you, Kristen.
Thank you, Tammy. We had a couple of people in the group were asking about your scripture passages, if you had a list of that. And then also, where do you find that grid? And maybe you could post that in the group later, a list of those scriptures. And that would be awesome. Awesome
Yes, I'd be glad to do
presentation.
that.
It's really awesome to just be authentic and just work with the Holy Spirit and do your research also, and research your audience. And Mark also put in the group, finding who your tribe is, who are the people that relate to you most. That's awesome. So, okay, thank you again, Tammy. Next is Miss Danielle Brown Davis. Are you ready for us? You're muted. Go ahead.
Hey, everybody. I'm so glad to be here today. Yes, but anyway, just in case you don't know me, my name is Danielle Brown Davis, and I have expertise in copywriting, social media management, social media marketing, Facebook ads, SEO, copywriting, anything that has to do with copywriting. I've been doing this social media management, content creation since 2005. And I expanded over the years. I have a background in car sales, real estate, almost everything under the sun that has to do with marketing and content creation. But anyway, yeah, so I had, there were some questions that came to me that some of you had. And I just wanted to encourage you that especially when you're starting out, or even if you have an existing business, the goal is to find your ideal client. You don't have to worry about having the perfect images. You don't have to have the perfect video, cinematography in order to reach out to your target audience. You don't even have you don't even have to have the best graphics. You don't even have to have the best website. And I'm big when it comes on into having a glamorous looking website, things of that nature. But you don't even have to have that. The only thing that you really need, and then I'm going to get into the questions, and I forgot to put my timer on because I don't want to go over time. But anyway, the only thing that you need to know who your ideal client is and to solve their problem. I remember there was a person, I'm not going to mention any names. There's a person, it was actually a minister who had said that you're not making enough money because you're not solving enough problems. And I heard that over and over again. And then finally I got it. Once you know who your ideal client is, and once you have that product or service that solves their problem, and you know how to reach out to that person, you will begin to make sales or more sales. But anyway, I should hop right into the questions. The first question that I got is, how do you grow and expand a social media audience and get a consistent flow of clients? The number one thing that you have to begin with is research. You have to know, of course, who your target audience is, what the service that you provide, and what's unique about your service that's completely different from everyone else around you that you could solve immediately. Immediately. The goal is to solve their problem immediately. And it starts with research. Now, I started the wrong way. I started with the product and I just figured, well, I just have this great product and I'm just going to start selling to millions of people with no strategy or anything. So it's important to do research first. And the easiest way, I'm going to give you one of my secrets. Well, not really a secret, but it's one way to start research, the easy way. Just find at least 3 people in your industry. Let's say that you're in the healthcare industry. Let's say you're a health coach and you want to find someone within your industry. Find the top 3 people in your industry and follow them. Follow them like a hawk, okay? Follow everything that they do. Look on their website, sign up for their email, look on their social media profile, whether it's Facebook, even if it's TikTok, even if it's Twitter or YouTube, follow them and read them like a book. Get to know them. Read the comments that are being put onto their post. That's one form of research. Another form of research, it's a little bit of old school, but it's still new school. Go on to Amazon in the industry that you're in. Let's say, again, it's the health industry and you're a health coach. You're going to go on to Amazon. You're going to find the best sellers. You're going to go on there and you're going to find the comments, the reviews, I should say, that are being posted on Amazon with the books, I should say. That's a form of research, and you're going to want to do a little by little each day, even if it's Facebook ads. Go on to industries that may not be associated with yourself. Car industries are good to research. Research their, go onto their website and then go back onto Facebook. You could research their ads, their Facebook ads. Oftentimes, people get kind of like writer's block when it comes to marketing, or they're not sure what to do. That's because you're not reading enough. You're not reading enough about your target audience. You're not reading enough about, I should say, your competitors. Researching and finding out exactly what they're doing, what they're putting out there, the type of videos they have, the content that they're posting, and start a swipe file. Take screenshots from your phone. You can create a folder in Google Drive and label it swipe file, and then take those screenshots and then put them into the folder. So when it's time for you to create a post or to write a marketing ad, you can go back to your swipe file and you can get ideas that way. But anyway, research, clear messaging is very important too. And I learned that the hard way. Just a quick story. I remember back in, I think it was back in, yeah, it was back in 2021, 2022. It was around Christmas time, around that time. I was with this group. It was a high ticket coach that I was working with. I still kind of like work with her, but we were working together and everybody in the group was struggling to make sales. And at that time we were doing organic marketing and we just could not figure it out. It was almost like it was something that was going on in the industry. Nobody was making sales in our group. And we had to backtrack. Are we writing the content that we're writing? Is it clear to our target audience? Is our messaging clear? Are we creating content that is understandable and that speaks to our audience? So that's very, very important, to have researching, having clear messaging, because if you don't have clear messaging, it's not like the old days back in 2015 when you could just put a post up and then all of a sudden people flock to you and buy. It's so important to research and have clear messaging so that you can create content that speaks to your audience, that will compel them to buy. The next point I want to make really quick is make sure, I kind of touched around this, but make sure your copy speaks to your audience. Excuse me. It's so important to make sure that your content speaks to your target audience. And one way of this is getting to know a little bit more about copywriting. You don't have to know everything. But like I said, when you're doing your research and you're searching your target audience, you're searching their social media, take a look at the copy that they're using, the way that they're writing the posts, the words that they're using, and even the comments. Just take a look at that. And the more that you read a little bit each day, more and more, you'll be able to sit down and you'll be able to write copy. Now, of course, later on, we're going to talk about JD's going to talk about AI. You guys have it so easy because back in 2015, I didn't know anything about copywriting. I barely knew about sales back then. And I had to learn everything from scratch. And it took like years and years and years. It took me up until at least 2020, 21, 22 to just get it when it came to marketing. You guys have it so much easier. You should be so encouraged. But anyway, it's so important to create copy that speaks to your audience. And the easiest way of doing that is researching, going onto the websites, as I mentioned earlier, of the top competitors in your industry and the top brands, going on their website, then going back to Facebook, and then eventually, if they have Facebook ads, you will be able to see their ads, read as much content and good copy as possible. Even when you sign up for their emails, the goal is to read every day. Even if you're spending 20 minutes a day of absorbing everything that's being put out there, eventually you'll get an idea of what your audience wants, because the people that are the top in your industry and the people that are following them, their clients, those are your clients, so to speak. So it's important to know what they like and what they don't like. And that's why research is so, so important. The next one, moving on a little bit quicker, is it's important. This is one thing that I know some people do not like. But if you want to attract more clients, potential clients, and grow your following, it is so important to have some form of video content. People want to see you. And when I first started that, I didn't start doing videos until like 2019. You couldn't get me in front of a camera or put my photos out there. I'm like, well, camera, are you kidding me? People need to see you. And the goal is to get over, I shouldn't say it's the goal, but to get over that fear. Start creating videos, even if you're just sitting there talking to people. Doesn't have to be perfect. Talking to people like they're your friend at your favorite restaurant. Just have dialogue and conversation with people. That's why it's so important to do research, because when you're researching, you're finding out what they like, the type of copy that they like, the type of video content that they like. And the more that you study your audience and study your competitors, you'll be able to create copy that resonates with them. And then when you're bringing in the Holy Spirit, the Spirit, He will show you the type of copy that will resonate with them. And lastly, on that particular question, I have 4 minutes left. But on that particular question, let me just repeat it. How do I grow and expand my social media audience and get a consistent flow of clients? It also has to do with mindset. That is so important. You can have the best copy, you can have the best ads, you can have the best graphics, the best website, everything. But if if you don't believe that people are going to come to you, if you have a negative mindset, like, oh, I don't think I'm going to be blessed, or I don't think I'm going to make sales, or I don't think this, it's not going to work, because I've been there. I've written good copy and I would post it and I would just be like, oh my goodness, suppose nobody buys anything. That is so important, to have a good mindset. Um, just trusting in God and asking the Holy Spirit to lead you, and not to worry about whether or not you're going to get sales. Have fun. Have fun with your content. Research and just research. The goal is just to research. Do as much research as possible. And then those ideas will come to you as you're sitting down to write copy. The next question has to do with Facebook ads. And I'm going to speed a little bit through this because I only have 3 minutes left. But one person wrote a question. It's Facebook ads are not working for me. How do I become successful when using them? The second part of that question I'm going to read afterwards, but let me read it again. Facebook ads are not working for me. How do I become successful when using them? The first thing, even before you do Facebook ads, you're going to want to do research. Research, research, research. Research those ads that are out there. One thing that you can do when you go into your top competitors, you're going to go directly to their Facebook business page. Afterwards, you're going to go to the About tab. After that, you're going to scroll down, it's usually on the left side, to page transparency. And that's where you're going to take a look to see if they have ads. And if they have ads, there's an option where you can click on to take a look at their ads. That's one way of doing it. And you're going to study how the ads are written, how people are replying to them, and coaching is important. there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube, free videos that you can watch about Facebook ads. Even Facebook offers some tips on how to create ads. That's important. But another thing that's important is to get some type of coaching on Facebook ads. That really, really helped me out when I was struggling with ads, because I would create ads back in the day and I would get responses, but I would find that the wrong people would reply to the ads, and I could not figure it out until I received that coaching. And I discovered that my copy, the content that I was writing, wasn't resonating with the right audience. And that's for another story for another time. But it's so important to research and study ads that are already done. That will help you a lot. And also, as far as, oh my goodness, I only have a minute and 6 seconds left. But anyway, when it comes to ads, when people say ads are not working for me, I've been there and I know how you feel. Um, that's before you do any ads, make sure you study your target audience. Also, to put in this question really quick, how do I choose the right Christian Facebook advertising strategy for social media, such as editing the audience, letting Facebook choose the display options and desired results, or do I do it manually? There's an option in there that will allow Facebook to do everything kind of like for you. I would say I like to play around with both, but 16 seconds left. But anyway, I if you're new, I would kind of lean towards the suggestions that Facebook has. It all has to do with testing. When you're doing Facebook ads, oh my goodness. When you're doing Facebook ads, it's all kind of like a test. And as far as how long you do ads for, and I'm wrapping this up, you'll want to do it for at least a month or more. With Facebook ads, paid ads, the goal is to get that data that's given when you have those ads. That data is so important because then you'll be able to create content a little bit better, tweak it, the type of content that your audience wants. Once you have that down pat, and there's not enough time for this, once you have that down pat, then you'll be able to it'll be so much easier for you to create content that resonates with them, whether it's paid ads or organic ads. But the one thing I want to leave you with, it's so important to research your audience, your target audience, and also your competitors before you do anything. That's all I have to say.
Thank you so much, Danielle. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Amazing. Good best practices in the
Mhm.
beginning, very practical things that we can do to help us do better with our marketing and
Mhm.
finding our audience. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes, so let's keep moving. Miss Jenny. Nope, not Jenny. David. I'm sorry. Come on, David. You're next.
Well, I just found out a little while ago that I'm the first enter in I guess all these sessions that they've done so far. So go easy on me, folks. These are two women that are hard acts to follow, and I will do my best to bring you some really good information. Many of you might know me from the foundations call on Monday nights. I try to show up there regularly and just commune with the rest of this great community. I've got a background in market research. I've been in market research sector for over 25 years. I have my own YouTube channel. I've done 100 videos in about 100 days. And it's a channel called Bring Your Best. And it's an inspirational channel to just promote honor and excellence for God in all that we do. So that's something that I've always been near and dear to my heart. But over the last 4 years, I've studied the art of persuasion at the American Writers and Artists Institute, and I'm now a certified freelance digital copywriter. and website audit specialist. And Kristen and Josh, thank you so much for putting this together, because it gives us an opportunity to kind of share some gifts with you. And what I'm going to do is, they asked me to talk a little bit about websites today, and I'm going to I put together a deck, and what I'm going to do is share that with you right now. So let me pull that up. Okay. So building and optimizing your website for improved ranking and traffic. So what I'm going to do is talk a little bit. I'm trying to make this I'm not going to talk techie today. I'm just going to give anybody who I'm trying to understand my audience. And in this group, it might be people that are thinking about, hey, I have a business idea. I want to create a website. I'm thinking I should create a website. I'm not sure if I should create a website. Or maybe you do have an site and it's not generating a lot of traffic, or maybe you suspect that you might have some issues. So I'm going to share with you some ideas that will equip you to really kind of look at your website from a different angle. What I do as part of my website audits is I create 21-point inspections, right? It's sort of like the Midas 21-point inspection, but it's for your websites. And I go through it with a fine-tooth comb, and I point out areas of opportunity. So I'm going to start with some website stats, just to kind of give you some flavor for where we're at in this arena. Currently, there's over 1 billion websites worldwide. Only 18% of those are active, which I find very interesting. But roughly 4 million new sites are created each day, right? But get this, 75% of all consumers admit to making judgments on a company's credibility on the company's website design alone. Wow, if that doesn't speak volumes, I don't know what does. Slow loading websites cost retailers 2.6 billion in lost sales each year. That's staggering, right? And we're all consumers, right? We've all gone to websites. We've all tried purchasing things. How annoying is it when you try to purchase something and it takes forever to load, right? So you can understand why that comes into play. What are some of the advantages of having a website, right? Bizrate.com says freelancers with an online presence earn 65% more than those who don't, right? So that's certainly very compelling. Having a website showcases your credibility and professionalism. It also increases your brand awareness. And what I love most about a website is 24/7 online presence. Your website works while you sleep, right? And Jim talked about that on Tuesday nights, right? Where if you don't have something working for you while you're sleeping, it's going to be very difficult to make it in this world these days. A website is information at the ready. People can go there at any time to review and study and to read, right? And it provides global reach. You're not only thinking about the U.S. economy, you're thinking outside, and a website allows you to do that. You build social proof through positive testimonies. And did you know that customers who typically visit a website, um, they typically call or visit your business within 24 hours. So that's another compelling reason to kind of think about a website and its presence. Let's talk about the critical home page, the critical elements of a home page, right? So what you kind of see here, websites, it's a home page. You've got the mobile view right down here as well. And so what's extremely important is the fact that as if you're a local business, you want to definitely have your business name, your address, and your phone number, because you want people to find you. You want to also have a headline and a subhead and about 300 to 500 words of supportive text and keywords on every single page. And I'll explain why later. You want to have at least one call to action, and Tammy and Danielle spoke about having a call to action. A call to action is simply, again, it's a button like this, learn more. That's not a very compelling call to action, but it's something you when you get somebody here, you want them to take some sort of action, and that's what a call to action is. You want to ensure that your site renders well on mobile devices, and you can see that this site here renders well. You want to have a relatable graphic that renders well and it's not too large in size. We talked about losing $2.6 billion in sales. And if you have a lot of huge graphics that take time to load, that's a problem. Having social media icons is a big plus on your homepage, right? And you also want to have a navigational bar that has at minimum home, about, service, and contact, okay? Let's dissect the homepage a little. Visitors will make a positive or negative impression within 8 seconds. It's actually shorter than that, all right? But humans only have the capacity to focus for about 8 seconds. Believe it or not, goldfish have 9 seconds, right? So what does that say about us? I'm not sure, but they're making a determination in split seconds whether to stay or leave, right? And once they're gone, they don't come back, right? So it's important to really be able to, once you get them there, to be able to convey a message that resonates with your site visitor, right? This site, what we refer to this, when you look at this, both on the mobile view and on the laptop view, this is what we call above the fold, which means there's no scrolling necessary, right? And this is what Google, when they crawl your website, they're looking specifically at this page, exactly what you see here, right? And so this is why it's so important to have critical information, because that's what they're indexing on, is basically the majority of what's on this page. They index other pages and other information, but it's generally what you see right here. We talked about the local business, having the business name, the address, and the phone number somewhere on this page is extremely crucial, especially if you're local. There's no CTA on this page, right? There's no call to action, which is a missed opportunity. So once I come here, I don't, you want somebody to take action once they get to your website. And without a proper call to action, that's a real big missed opportunity. You want to make sure that the site is mobile friendly, and this one is. Okay. And Nielsen says 80% of consumers will not scroll beyond the home page. So why do you think it's important to have a call to action, to have information that people can get at? It's important to have it all right here. So if you have an existing website and you don't have these pieces of information, that's an opportunity for you to address. Or if you're thinking about putting together a website, these are all the critical things that you need. So when you think about that, you can be equipped and ready to go. Human engagement and best practices. As Danielle did a wonderful job of saying, you want to speak, when you're writing content, you want to speak in a conversational and genuine tone. You want to be clear. You have to get across what's in it for them, the WIFT, right? Don't make them work to find what they need. You want to offer a solution. You want to provide excellent value. You want to promote a free service or a giveaway, something that entices them to take action. So important. You want to provide customer service. What is that? That's, you want to love on your visitors. You want to love on the people that are coming to your site, and any type of service that you can give them, whether it's quick responses, they have questions, whatever that might be. You want to just really care for them. You never want to mislead or use any form of clickbait. And clickbait is just, as you can see, it typically refers to the practice of writing sensationalized or misleading headlines in order to attract clicks, just for a piece of content. It often relies on exaggerated claims and leaving out information in order to generate traffic, right? And like I said before, 88% of online consumers are less likely to return to a site after a bad experience. So there you go. These are the questions that you really need to ask yourself when you're putting together a site. Danielle said about doing the research, right? When you're coming and you're building your site and you're putting together the content, can you quickly identify what type of business is it? Is it clear? What types of products and services do they offer? What types of promises do they make? Do they understand me and do they speak my language? Danielle talked a lot about going to Amazon and reading through like reviews and things like that, right? Do you speak the language? Do you understand their pain points? Why are you the best solution, right? Can I find what I need quickly? Is there a call to action, a way to sign up? Example, book a free demo, claim a free trial. These are all things that you can do to add value, right? Is the site mobile friendly? Does it render well on small device types? All critically important. What I'm going to do is show you some examples of different sites, right? And you can see right off the bat, compare and contrast, right? Well, this guy to our left certainly is the star. When you look at both sites, which site would you go to, right? Your eyes lean to the left here, right? Now, it's important to also note here that just because the site on the left looks more appealing, it doesn't mean it's a perfect website. But in this comparison, it is. Here, why is the side on the left more appealing than the side on the right? The side on the right doesn't really tell you anything. It's best friends, welcome to best friends, right? I understand that, but it doesn't give me any call to action. It doesn't provide a headline. It doesn't speak to me. It just says best friends, right? So there's opportunities to optimize this. Whereas the side on the left gives you hours of operation and it tells you where they can be found. It doesn't make you work as hard as the other site, which is why it wins out in this example. In this example, the site on the right wins out because they're offering you a call to action, right? Get your free gym membership, right? It's easy on the eyes. The site on the left, while and Sasara Yoga Workshop might be appealing, they're making me work, right? And we already saw 80%, 88% of people will not come back if it's a negative experience. So if you're making me work, I'm going to click right off. Local tree company and landscape maintenance services, right? The site on the left versus the site on the right, and the site on the right wins out because of the copy, right? It speaks peace of mind. Who wouldn't want peace of mind from doing yard work, right? So these are so again, not uh, not um, not that it's perfect, but it has better elements than the other one. So these are some of the things that I want you thinking about. If you have an existing site, you can kind of look and troubleshoot. Hey, how does my site compare to like the competition? And you can use some of these checkpoints to kind of help you figure out some of these things that you may or may not be missing. Would you ever go to this site? This site, my goodness, it's needs a little help. It's kind of before and after. So the page on the left was from about 3 or 4 years ago. They've updated it. It's a little bit better, but not much better. All right. So just areas of opportunity. As a consumer, you say to yourself, geez, if I hit this site, would I continue? Right? And only you can answer that. This is interesting because I went to the site when I was putting together my presentation 2 days ago, and what they had on the left was their site 2 days ago. This was the image on the right is what their homepage looks like as of today, and you can see on the left the graphic was the star of the show. On the right, they reduced the graphic, right? And they also went ahead and they listed all their services. So they gave you a lot more to kind of digest and look at and work with. Final tips and takeaways. Having a website will help expand your presence, increase your income potential. When building your site, think of the specific search terms people would input into a search engine, such as Google, to find your product or service, right? Create your content with the mindset of catering to your audience. Help them solve a problem. Speak in a conversational and authentic tone. Pay strong attention to your homepage and help direct your visitors toward taking an action, the CTA that we've talked about. Again, offer something of value in exchange for a sign up, and don't make your visitors work to find what they need. Um, Kristen, where am I at on time?
Time is up, but go ahead and finish out. Go ahead, finish
Okay,
out.
just as I think this is my last slide or two. So special offer to PP Pascolo Proving Ground members. Any member who reaches out to me by April 30th, I'm offering a free one-on-one 30 to 45-minute review of your site. If you have a website, an idea for a website, or any of your content needs. On the calls, we'll discuss at a top level my overall impressions and thoughts for helping move your marketing efforts forward. Additionally, if you book any of my services, website, or content between now and April 30th, I'll do whatever I can to work within your budget, coaching you through your challenges with your promotional efforts. All you need to do is contact me at contentclearsolutions@gmail.com. And in the subject line, just put in PPG special offer. Listen, folks, any of us want to desperately help you in your voyage here. And if that's, and whether it's me or whether it's anybody else in this call, that's what our hearts want to do. So if you're stuck, we're here to help you in any way that we can. And may God bless you all.
Wow, David, that was, whew. That was awesome. That was a lot of great information. Very, very informative concerning
Great.
website, way more than I expected concerning how a website look or should not look. There were a couple of questions in the chat really quick. Someone's asking if they could have access to the slides. Are you willing to
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll
send the
make this
slides?
available to the group. Yeah.
And then someone had a question really quick about, I'm sure that might be a little bit broad, how to make sure your website is the speed on your website is not too slow. And that has to do, I think you mentioned that about the graphics, not having too much heavy graphics on there.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you'll know that if you pull up your website and it's taking forever to render, right, then you know you have a problem and you need to decrease the size of the graphics that you're using, right? If you have, like, if you're using video content that's really slowing down the load of your site, those are some of the things that you should look out for. But overall, your first inclination is pull up your website. If it's taking a long time for it to load, then you want to be careful of that.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you for holding on with us. We got one more presentation for you. Our call is until 4:30. Miss Jenny, let's go right
Hey.
ahead.
Good. So, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Jenny. I'm from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm a mom of 2 college kids. I've been in the IT industry, specifically in cybersecurity for the last 25 plus years. So, I've been immersed in technology. However, my obsession has been home business marketing for like the last decade. So I'm just going to dive right in and share my screen so that you can see my slides. And hang on to your seatbelts because 15 minutes is short, right? So you all shared such wonderful information. And yeah, so let's hope that I can bring it like they did. So AI for home business. What I'm going to try to cover is just a few things here about what AI is, what I'm using it for, and the different models that you can use. Now, the last slide will be the most important. And yes, you can have the slides. I actually have it all set up for you to go grab. And that'll be on the last slide. So, what is AI? AI is not really AI. It's not intelligent like us beautiful beings that God created. Our brains are so much more powerful, and we are so much more powerful because of who we are, right? So AI is actually just a bot, right? It's a bunch of data that's been programmed by us beautiful people, and we get to access all that information and use it and ask it questions and have it help us with our tasks, okay? So you can have it help you with all your marketing, with all of your social media, and I'll get into that. So those are the benefits. The limitations and considerations I want to talk about is this: just don't copy and paste. Be you, be authentic. Use the ideas you get, but don't copy and paste it. Because what you'll run into is that these bots are actually taking data from human beings, and the human beings have copyright laws. So avoid that, be yourself. So what I use it for is I use it to brainstorm ideas. I literally just use it as like a little assistant that I can bounce ideas off of, and I make lists. I use it to help me write blog posts. I use it to help me create lead magnets. This is really cool, and it's a giant time saver. I do have a free course that you'll have access to too, where I actually went over how I created my lead magnet. And by the way, I know we're not all marketers. Lead magnets are, like David said, you know, it's something easy for them to get on your website, on your socials, whatever, so that you collect their emails, right? Or their text, whatever it is that your favorite communication area is, so that you can keep in touch and keep them in your world, so they learn to know, like, and trust you. The more they hang around, the more likely they're going to buy from you. That's what the lead magnets are for, so that you can collect that contact information and keep in touch with them. So anyway, so you can use it to create lead magnets. You can create original images, which is super cool. I have a brand new tool to show you. I'm not going to be able to go over it in detail, but I'll definitely mention it and tell you about it. You can create video scripts, like ask ChatGPT to say, I want to talk about this for 30 seconds. What are some key things that I can go over? Or just give me a script to follow, and then don't read it word for word. Use the ideas, right? You can use it for hashtags. You can use it for conversation when you're networking. Example, there was a conversation I was having, and I was trying to explain something to someone, and I'm like, I could not find the right words. So I literally went into the chat bot and I just said, hey, I'm trying to explain this, and this is what's on my mind, but I don't know how to spit it out so they'll understand in simple terms. So gave it to them. ChatGPT, is that what I was using? I don't know. I use a lot of them. I'll show you them all. Anyway, so I spit it out back to me, and it's like, oh, wow, that's really simple. So now, you know, I could go back to the conversation. Okay, so here are the tools. ChatGPT, obviously. I mean, this is the first one on the scene, so it's the most robust. You can actually, boy, I wonder if I would have time to share it with you. Well, let me do that real quick. I think I can. Right here. In the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, when you're logged into ChatGPT, and this is just the free version, you don't have to pay for it. I wanted to make that point today. You don't have to pay for any of these tools. You can use the free versions. If you want to go dive deep into them, then get the paid versions, okay? So anyway, in the lower left-hand corner is your profile. And when you hit customize ChatGPT, you can tell it all about you so that it can come back with responses that are more tailored to who you are and how you talk. Cool, right? Okay, let me go back to my slide. So ChatGPT, whoops. There. When you're talking to it, be very specific and give it as much details as possible. I will have another slide further down that has some examples for you too. And yes, you'll get the slide. So be clear and specific, give it as much detail as possible, even if you're rambling on. It doesn't matter. It's pretty smart. It can take the data that you give it and spit out what you want. When it comes back with a response, review and edit your questions, go back and ask it again if you didn't get what you want. It's you literally just talk to it. I could show you like long conversations I've even had with it because I didn't get what I wanted. This is really cool. If you don't have products for your business, let's say you're just like really hyped up about sharing how you overcame something, right? But you don't know how to share it. You can create courses and outlines in these bots. I literally asked it to lay out a whole course. It was very cool. You know what? I wonder if I could. No, if I get into showing you everything, I'll run out of time. So, the next one, let's see, ChatGPT. I'm done with that, right? Okay, so the next one is Claude. And I also am sharing with you links to all these tools too, okay? Claude is made by Anthropic, and it's programmed a little bit different. What's super cool about it is the way it lays out its data. I specifically like to use it for writing ebooks for my lead magnets, for blog posts, and for the course outlines and details. After it gives me, like, I said, you know what? I want to create a free cybersecurity course for my home business clients. Lay out a short mini course, an outline for me to talk about. It literally spit it all out for me. It was so cool. And then I said, okay, now hash out the details of that outline and give me some slides. So then it just went into much more detail, and it actually told me a little bit about what to talk about, which I already knew how to talk about it, right? But just having it all laid out was very helpful. I didn't have to lay it out myself. And then it gave me the slide ideas. Like, I didn't do it for this particular presentation, but when I did that course, I literally just copied the bullet points into my slides. I mean, it was done. And speaking of slides, I should probably get into that. Well, no, I have another slide for that. Okay, so the fourth tool is Gemini. And Gemini is Google's version of ChatGPT. Here is an example. I asked Gemini, I said, what's the difference between you and ChatGPT? And it gave me this little table, and then it said, export to spreadsheet. Because I have Google Docs, it'll actually output the data into something that you want. How cool is that? So anyway, this is what it told me the differences are, and it's pretty cool. So I didn't start my timer here. Anyway, Microsoft Copilot is the next tool, and what it is it's based on ChatGPT-4. It's the exact same thing. And oh my gosh, this tool is everywhere. If you have Windows, it's in the lower right-hand corner. It's this fancy little icon down here in the lower right-hand corner. If you tap it, you can ask it questions. It's just like a little companion to help you. And it is ChatGPT-4, so you can ask it the same questions. This is what it said when I asked it, what do you do? Why are you, who are you compared to ChatGPT-4? And this is what it said, which is pretty cool. Over on the left here, I have a tiny screenshot. You can see this is Microsoft Edge, which is your browser for browsing the internet. In the upper right-hand corner, there is a little icon there. That is Copilot. If you tap it, you're talking to ChatGPT-4. You can find these tools everywhere. They're in Facebook. Facebook has an AI tool. In my autoresponder, if I'm having troubles with my words in my emails, it's all right there. I mean, I literally just type the / sign and I can have AI help me write. It's in Canva, everywhere. This is the coolest tool I found recently, Microsoft Designer. What it is it is based on DALL-E, which is a tool that creates images. You can use it to create unique images for your social media posts, your invitations, digital postcards, and graphics. It's very cool. I wish I had time to show you. It even comes with like little prompts. Like, I just can't, it's just beautiful, the images that it comes up with. So you can use that to quickly create stuff. And speaking of Microsoft, I should mention, if you have Office 365, you can add a Copilot license to it. Now that's a paid, version of it. But inside it, let's say you want to create a slide deck for a presentation. When you're in PowerPoint, you can actually ask Copilot to create the PowerPoint slides for you.
Wow.
Are we talking save time here or what? Okay, so here are some prompts, example prompts that I've used. Don't worry about taking notes, you'll get the slides. So just an example, create an outline for a blog post about the top 5 productivity tips for remote workers. Now, this was me asking it to help me with blog posts for the IT company I work for. So I write 3 blog posts a week and it only takes me an hour or 2. It's very cool. So here's just some examples if you want to just look through them real quick. I like to be polite to it, so I do call it by its name. I say, hey, ChatGPT, could you create 10 hooks for me about TikTok marketing for business? Great, thanks. Okay, now Rachel Peterson is a social media queen, so sometimes I like ask ChatGPT to sound like her sometimes. So there's that. And then also I did take some courses of hers, so I copied some of her prompts for you, which is right here. So this right here is something that we just took off of Reddit, and then we just kind of reworded it to get what we want. So more example prompts for you. All right, am I getting close, Kristen? 2 minutes? Oh, cool, because actually I could go over here and show you. Let's see, this was ChatGPT. This was me asking it some questions. And Claude, check this out. I asked it, what can AI do? And look at how nice it lays this out, which is super cool. So then you can go down to the bottom, very bottom, and copy what it output into what you want. And then here's the Gemini one I was talking about, where I asked it, what's the difference between you and ChatGPT? If I were asking it, other data, I could export it to sheets, and then I could play with the data in spreadsheets, which is really cool. And then in Microsoft Edge, if I go over here, this is your Copilot right here. And it's taking a long time. So I'm just going to, whoop. Hey, Copilot, create a list of 10 hooks for a video about using you to create video content. Now, a hook is a fancy term for a headline or a title that gets people to watch your video. It's pretty fast. Now I can take those ideas and I can figure out what I want to talk about, right? Cool. Okay, last slide. You can grab all of my slides at learnwithginny.com/PPG for Pascolo Proving Grounds. And then learnwithginny.com/links is my link tree where I have all my free stuff, which is on all my social media platforms. So that's it. I have some programs in there for headshots. I noticed that some of our people have some gorgeous headshots from AI. So there's some programs on there for that. And plus there were other questions, Kristen, about signing documents and stuff like that. So I actually asked AI to give me some ideas for that, and I put those on there too.
Okay, awesome. That was amazing. That was good timing. We're at 4:15, and there were some other questions. Well, let me just say, you changed my mind about GP Chat. I'm gonna start using it myself because I'm was so skeptical, anyway, of AI. But we've been using it already for a long time. It's become much more popular to the population. But thank you so much, Jenny. That was awesome. And we had a few more questions. You guys pretty much covered all the questions for the most part that we had, based on our questionnaire. Um, Actually, someone had a question, Jenny. What about a MacBook? Is that different from using
You should be able to
Windows?
get Microsoft Edge on there too. And you should be able to
Right.
use all those
Okay.
tools because
I
they're
think that was
websites.
their
Mm-hmm.
right website brace. Right. Okay. Okay. And let's see. Y'all give me a minute. I'm going to go through these questions to see if there's something that we didn't ask. And if anybody else has any questions, feel free to add it in the chat. Um, let's see. And David, you kind of brought this up, but you mentioned, how a website should look, but is it really necessary to have a website when someone is getting started? Is that something that they really need right now, or can they wait? Do you have any tips on
Yeah.
that?
Um, my gut feeling is right out of the gates, starting up a business, probably not so much. Um, I I I waited about a year before putting up my websites, and so I think that it just really depends on what your is. What are you selling? Is it a service? Is it goods? And then I think it will kind of prompt you one way or the other. I mean, it is compelling to have one eventually. And I think that, we've talked about a lot of pros as to why that is. But I think right out of the gates, look, if I think anybody that has some talent, and I know a lot of people that it's so much easier these days to put together. There's so many like you could use like a program like Wix to develop they have all these templates that you can use to create a quick website and stuff like that. You could put something up at a very economical cost. It doesn't have to cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So the thing is that yeah, you could probably do something on the cheap and put something up. Um, but what the hope was today was to kind of show you a peek behind the curtain as to some of those key elements as to what you really need to do to kind of position yourself for that organic traffic and organic searches. And if anybody has any further questions on that or wants to ping me, you know, folks, please know that you can I'm sure you can ping anybody here in the group and they'll get back to you and answer questions. And it would be our complete honor to do that. So if you have any further questions on any of this type of stuff, don't hesitate to reach out.
So Tammy's question there, I don't have a favorite AI tool because I actually use them all, and sometimes I'll literally like ask all of them at once and see which one comes up with the best answer. So
That's genius. Thank you.
And
you're
and
welcome.
Ginny, um, I think part of that too is that there's a lot of talk in the industry about, AI replacing copywriters and it's a complement to what we do, right? Because
Mhm.
at the end of the day, you are still dealing with live human beings, right?
Yeah,
And you still, right? So like you said, it's a bot, right? And
yeah,
it's copying content, right? But it doesn't speak to the heart a lot of times, right?
no.
And so, it's a complement to what we use, right? And you recognize that as a tool to assist us as we go after and as we try to, solve problems and whatnot.
As people keep using it and putting their stuff out there by copying and paste it, it's obvious. And
Yep.
when we are coming from the heart and being more authentic, we stand
Yep.
out.
Sure. Absolutely.
So
Right.
definitely use it to help you with ideas, but then put yourself out there.
Right. With Holy Spirit. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Jenny, back on you. I think you did mention that you had some tools that's available to help with course creation. Didn't you say that? And putting your digital
Yes.
product out there.
Yep, it's on the
Okay.
list. It's on the list for sure. I
Okay.
did create some free courses myself. It's actually the first time I created courses in there, and it was really quick and easy. So
Right.
yeah, for sure. It's a really easy builder. It's only 25 bucks a month, and you can create as many funnels and
Right.
pages as you want, and courses and digital products. It's crazy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, June has a question. She was actually the one that asked about the Christian advertising. She says, I have a problem with Facebook ad targeting because they have removed all traces of Christianity for ads, and I'm a Christian children's fiction writer, so I had to come up with near Christian categories like kids who read C.S. Lewis. But she's asking, is there a better way to get to her right audience? It's frustrating.
Yeah, yeah.
And she has, a budget. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
so
Danielle.
it can be. I used to be frustrated. Then after a while, I realized I stopped worrying about it. Um, the best way to do it, along with Facebook ads, is just to go where your audience is and create an organic post from there. And then the more that you do that, consistency, people will begin to gravitate towards you. Because I used to be
That's
worried about
key,
it at first, but then I'm
consistency.
like, yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, no, I'm not worried about that anymore. Yeah.
That's the key about it. What you all was talking about was is consistency,
Yes.
really, and being patient with the process, because it can get discouraging if you're not seeing results right away. And
Yeah.
trusting God, like Tim always tells us, we do our part and we trust God with the outcome of it, and just keep doing it.
Yeah, you certainly have to fish
June's
where
saying
they
she
swim.
does that. Go ahead, David.
No, I was just going to say this, you certainly have to fish where they swim, right? And, at the end of the day,
Mhm.
folks, we don't have magic wands either, right? So a lot of this, it's a long game, and a lot of it's trial and error. And a lot of it's, sometimes, even if all the stars are in proper alignment, you might have a product or service that maybe not in high demand, right? And so it's something that, you have to, in those certain instances, I've done website reviews where there's nothing wrong with the website, right? And it becomes, hey, how can I get my product or service out in front? So it becomes more promotional or marketing related, and it becomes, how can I get to that audience that want where I can be a benefit, where I can solve a problem, where I need to find where they swim. And if you can get to the bottom of where they swim, then you're heading in the right direction, right? So as Danielle and Jenny and Tammy had mentioned a lot, they spoke more to that, the sales funnel process. They provided a lot of good ideas today, and I would encourage you to I hope you took some good notes. And again, you can always reach out if you didn't, and talk to these ladies because they're extremely gifted in what they do.
Awesome. Um, I don't think there are any other questions. And if you have a question, go ahead and speak out. The chat moves pretty quick on here. Trying to keep up with all of them. Or raise your hand if you have a question.
Kristen,
Let's see.
this is Marion. This has been absolutely amazing. Thank you all. Just, oh my gosh, fantastic. I wasn't taking notes, but I am going to go back because couldn't take notes. But anyway,
Right.
my question is, when will the recording be available? I am
Oh,
going to sit and take copious notes.
it should be up as early as Monday. It might get it out sooner, but as early as Monday.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you all so much. That was just so powerful.
Yes, a lot of information and good bite-sized information in that hour. I think You guys, did someone else have,
Yeah,
was
Dave,
someone
I
else
don't
trying
know
to
if David
speak?
wants to take this one, or can a YouTube
Can a
channel replace?
YouTube channel replace a website?
Oh, right.
Well,
That's interesting. I've never thought about it like that.
Can I share my
I
thought?
don't know. Yeah, please do.
Just a thought. It's not your platform.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that is the
So if they
one thing that
decide
you
to
do
take it
own.
down, if they decide to take it down for any reason, right? And they
Yeah.
take down videos for any reason they want to, right? Then I would say no. You're at their mercy.
Right. That's the same thing with any social media
Yeah.
platform.
Yeah,
Facebook,
exactly.
Instagram, the way Facebook shut down the other day and
Yeah.
people were panicking. The
I've been
website is
kicked off
something
of
that
them
you can
all,
own.
so you know. I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
can I add something to that?
yeah, go.
What I've noticed,
Mm,
there's a saying, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket.
Mhm.
And so
right.
if you only use one social media, or if you only lean on one way to connect with people, well, what about all the other people you're missing out on serving and loving and supporting and caring about? What happens to them? Because I used to be like, no, I'm only going to live on Facebook. That's all I'm going to do. And then I was heard about this Instagram thing, and I heard about this LinkedIn thing, and like people have um my audience has massively grown because I'm not only fishing in one pond. Now, it's whatever you can do with consistency, because when you can show up consistently and you're posting consistently, if your consistency is once a day or once a week, great. Be consistent at it, because that is going to build that know, like, and trust factor. People will know because you're posting on a consistent basis. So if you can be consistent with posting 3 times a day, great. But whatever you can do with consistency and not limiting it just to one area.
Right. And that's good. And you don't have to start them all at once because, some people, have a challenge with technology, start with one, get that going, then move on to the next thing. And then also, but the good thing about Facebook is it's connected to Instagram. So if you use their business center, you can post on both platforms at the same time. But definitely being consistent in on all platforms. They buy the who more than they buy the what. When they get to know you, they'll, as they say, take my money, whatever. So does anyone else have any questions or I think that is it. I think someone had a specific question and then we'll close it out about I think it's still similar to what we've been saying already. But they were saying that how do they market a single product or a product line when counseling, coaching, or services is not a part of the package? And they're saying they're currently selling from a third party platform and maintaining an exclusive website with blog, social media, and they're hosting a Facebook group. Anyone
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed
touch
the
on
first part. I'm sorry.
They were just saying, how do you market your business when you just have a single product or product line and you're not doing like counseling or coaching or anything like that? How do you do that?
Definitely video, because people need to see, they need to see what you're selling.
Right.
Yeah,
This constant, yeah.
that's the best way.
Like you're saying, not being afraid to show yourself and
Exactly.
to know you.
Well,
Yeah,
there's even ways to do faceless, right? Because like
Yeah.
look
that
at all the
too.
newer accounts that are
Audio,
coming out
right.
that are faceless, right? And so like you could do it through pictures, you could do it through collecting past testimonials and taking screenshots and turning those into a reel of
Right.
social proof that people are using what you have, and that
Right.
can lend itself to increasing your following, your viewership, and everything like that.
Tell
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah, and doing the voiceover as well, audio over those images
Yeah.
using your voice. Go ahead, Jenny.
Oh, I was just saying tell stories. I was adding
Oh,
to
yeah.
what. Yeah. Yep,
Right.
yep.
I,
Okay, we're at 4:30. Did want to open up for any prayer requests. Did Danielle look like you had one more thing to say?
Oh no, someone asked about a free website, and I noticed that they posted Wix, a free Wix site. But just like the platforms using a free site, it's not yours, and
Right.
it's not yours, and it could be shut down overnight. They have a lot of affordable sites that you can get. Like even I love Wix better than GoDaddy, but you can get a very affordable domain name, and they also have just a site that you can build yourself, almost like a site builder, if you want to start off with that rather than hiring someone. Minimal prices. But I would not start with a free site because it's not yours, and then they have those ads that they show.
Right.
It just doesn't look as professional.
Yeah, it looks spammy. Look,
Yeah, it does.
it's free. But okay. Did anybody have any prayer requests on their business or anything? We want to definitely close it out with prayer. Thank you all again for joining. The call has been awesome. This is really great. Got a lot done in an hour and a half. And we'll definitely be sharing those slides. We're trying to figure out the best way to get it to you with David. If you're not on the um, mailing list, that would be an awesome place to get it there. And I think there's some few people on here that are not in the Pascolo Proving Grounds. If you want to join our group, it's basically family. We're on the call with family. If you want to join the group, I'm going to add it on here. If you want to join, I'll add it in the chat. And also, if you want to join our mailing list, 1 second. If you guys see anybody with any prayer requests, I can't see the screen right now.
Karen has a prayer request, and so does Tammy.
Okay.
Clarity in products to offer is what Karen asks for.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just put down prayers that God continue bringing the right people for all of our businesses, and that we can share his love and glory through what we do, as well as the boldness to share what we do and share God's word with others, and the discernment to know when someone is a good fit for what we do, and peace of mind to send them to somebody else in love and in respect, because there is no competition in the kingdom. There is no shortage.
Right. Go ahead and pray, Tammy. Go ahead and pray us out.
All right. So Yahovah, that is God in Hebrew. We just thank you that nothing is by coincidence, that everything is by your design. I just thank you so much for this time together. I thank you that you are at the root of it all. And I thank you that it's you who brings the fruit. It's not us, it's you. I thank you that your word says your yoke is easy and your burden is light, which means if we show up and allow ourselves to be available and seek you out in every step of everything, you will bring the fruit. You will allow us to prosper in God math, not people math, which is multiplication. You multiply. So I just thank you for the territory that was taken today. I thank you for the wisdom. I thank you for the discernment and the knowledge that each of these people have, as well as everyone watching this live and on the replay. I thank you that you download to them tips, strategies, ideas, creativity, and the right connections in your perfect timing, that we don't have to force the connections, but we can truly trust your timing to bring about the right relationships of people who are God-centered, heart-centered, desiring to serve, have things and solutions that they're willing to be able to share boldly. I thank you for just continuing to direct our hands, direct our paths. I thank you for healing physically, financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally in our relationships, and above all else, in our walk with you, that we go deeper and deeper with you. I just thank you for the Pascolo Proving Grounds. I thank you for Wealth with God. I thank you for the friendships that are coming from this group, and that it's not a group of usury or manipulation, but a group that really cares about each other. So we bless this time. We thank you so much. I cast out anything that would come against trying to distract or derail people from what you've called them to do. In Jesus's name, in Yeshua's name, that's Jesus in Hebrew, we give thanks and pray. Amen.
Amen.